again, Don Singletary, and welcome to the channel. Today's featured trade's going to be one I think you're going to like. As I always do here on the channel, I enter the trade with the Tasty Trade desktop software with a bracket OCO. OCO means one cancels the other. You can put in your entry, your stop loss, and your target all at one time and just hit send to enter the trade. And the reason I do this is because it makes trading a lot easier when you have see it, click it, trade it. Everything all on one page. It sure makes learning a lot easier. And it helps speed your learning because I use the same setup every time. My 5-minute interval candlesticks in the top there, and we'll talk about the MACD in just a moment, the trade signal indicator. Right now I'm entering trades at the bracket order, setting my stop loss about 20 points away. It's $2 a point with the NASDAQ100 Micro Eminis. So I'll get my stop about 10 to 15 points away for a $20 to $30 stop. And you can see there's a built-in calculator there. You just put in the points and it figures the dollar amount. And you can see down there I'm having to do some editing. My target price on this is $22,120. So that's a target of about $100. Now, you can't tell a trade how much money to make you, but you got to put something in there for the close at a profit. Of course, the value of the Micro E-mini is changing constantly, so I have to go back and forth a couple of times so I can get my stop at about $20 to $25. Now, here's one of the most important components of a trade. I call it the trade setup. I've frozen the frame right here. I just hit the send button, and now I have my target, my trade price, and also my stop loss price all on the screen, ready to go. Before I go any further, let me tell you why I picked this trade and why now. As you can see, even before the market opened at 9:30, prices were beginning to drop a little bit. Now I'm going to enter the trade over here at 10:26 in the morning after the market's been open for about an hour. And as you can see by the line there, prices are surely declining. I use the MACD as a trade signal indicator and coordinate that with what I see with the candlesticks. Both, of course, are agreeing, and that's the way it should be. You can see the blue arrows noting there the price downtrend. And the fact that down on the bottom, that blue line on the MACD, the fact that it's so negative and so far below the zero line suggests very strongly the downtrend is not over yet. It's one of the reasons I strongly suggest that you do practice trading before risking the real dollars. Now, this type of trading or any other type of trading, if it's new to you, you need to have some repetitions. You need to do it over and over again. Your intuition then gets better because you build that memory in your brain and you're able to make faster and more accurate decisions. Okay, we're on the live trade screen now, and I'm getting my Tasty Trade mouse first thing and pulling my stop order down. What that does is minimize the amount of money I can lose. I started with a stop up there around $30, $32, and I get my Tasty Trade mouse and drag it down to lower that risk. That's always the number one job of every trader, immediately reduce the risk. Quickly moving the stop loss down, fix the risk at this trade at now only $11. Even better than I'd hoped, we're now trading down below $22,155, and I get the Tasty Trade mouse again and drag that stop down, reducing the risk even more. Now I'm short one contract, so moving the stop loss down below the entry price actually locks in a profit. Sometimes these things happen pretty fast. I'm locked in $38.50, worst case scenario on the trade right now, in under a minute. And I got to tell you, that's fun. Every time you reduce the risk on a trade, now I've got a free trade. I can't lose a penny on this trade now because the stop is below my entry price. And that means it's called a prospect theory. I'll make better decisions when I'm not at risk. That's just the way we humans are wired. Now watch this, the live trading price is inside the two orange rings. The price dropped again to $22,141 and below that. So I've got my Tasty Trade mouse pulling that stop down. And guess what? I got stopped out at $22,139 3/4. That's it. 1 minute, 20 seconds. The trade is over. Now I have a little post-trade test for you. No worries, only 2 questions, and the first one's very easy. How much money did I make in the trade in that minute, 20 seconds? I was 30 points, so I made $60. The reason I picked this particular trade to go in the video today, there's several things we can talk about right now that may help you improve your trading skills, so we'll give it a go. One thing, right at the beginning, there was no drawdown on the trade. In fact, there was no drawdown for the entire trade. Drawdown, if you don't know, is the money you get behind on during a trade. You're down $20. $20 would be your drawdown with a trade in progress. I would say that when you get where about half your trades have no drawdown, that is a good indicator that your trade selection is probably getting better. And that's the key to the whole thing. The other thing is using that stop loss very aggressively. You saw about 3 times in this trade. I did the left mouse button, click and hold it down and bring down that stop order. And that reduced my risk in the first 30 seconds of the trade down from around $30 down to only $11. Then 15 seconds later, I locked in a $30.50 profit. Turned around just a few seconds later and moved my stop loss down even more to eventually make a $60 profit. Now, what's important here is what I'm not saying. I haven't mentioned a thing, not one concern mentally about how much money that I might make. I'm always trying to make more, of course, during the trade, but the number one focus was not how much money. The number one focus was reducing risk. I don't think you can really ever be truly successful at this kind of day trading without placing risk aversion as your number one priority. A moment ago, I said I was going to have 2 questions for you. Here's the other question. If you are in a trade, you've got $38.50 locked in, the trade's only about a minute old, and you have $60 in unrealized gain up there, why would you get out of a trade? Everything's going great. Why get out of the trade? Well, many of you are going to disagree with me about this, and that's okay because, you're the captain of your ship and you can do anything you want. When you say, if you're a beginning trader at the very beginning and don't have much experience yet, you're probably going to let that trade run and try to make some more money. But I can tell you, I've done hundreds of these things. And when I make $60 on a 1-contract trade in a little over a minute, I know from experience that the chances of that 60 doubling in the next minute are almost 0, 25, 50 to 1. I don't know what the exact number is, but I've done a lot of trades and I know that. And so I decided to take the bird in hand, as the old saying goes. You're going to find out as you go in to get a lot of trades under your belt. If you're human, you're going to get in the habit of going back and looking to see if you did make the best decision possible. And what you're about to see on the screen now is I overlaid the same chart, but 13 minutes later at 10:40 a.m. And you remember I got out of the trade at 22,139.75. And the market went back up the next 13 minutes to 22,162. So with the genius of hindsight only, I was right. If you like today's video and you want to see another same or similar, just click the like button. I tally those. It helps me determine which content to put here on the channel. I appreciate that. Thank you. Be sure and check out my book on Amazon. It has over 600 5-star reviews, and I want to thank everyone for that. I really appreciate it. I try to make learning a little faster and easier if you use the book to get through it. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever we put new videos up. I'm Don Singletary, and I hope every day is a payday for you.